Hi everyone, it's Fiona Jane from Australia, and I'm here as I was talking to a friend the other day about my gypsy journal, fabric journal that I made over a year ago, and I never videoed it, so here it is. I love it. I absolutely love it. The images that I got, I downloaded from Pinterest, and they're actually fabric images. They're printed on really good quality linen, and I really love them. There's a variety of different colors. Now, usually when I work with fabric and lace, I usually work with the typical colors would be your vintage type colors. So your creams, your beiges. I like working with white. My favorite color is pink, and I work a lot with purple. So doing a gypsy journal, I spent some time before I actually made it, and had some really thought about what type of things that they would wear and the type of clothes, the colors, the vibrance. So it was a big challenge for me to work with other colors. So here it is. This is the first page. Now, a lot of the trims, laces and trims that I actually got from a Facebook group in Australia called Lush Laces. You can join the group. She does actually ship outside the country, so she ships all over the world. So just to let you know. So a lot of these pieces are embroidered. Let me just lift this up and see if you can see it a bit closer. This has actually got an embroidered flower, and there's quite a lot of detail in this one. So I really love that piece. So I backed it. The book is actually made out of calico, and I have put between the pages some felt to give it some extra padding. Now, when I put my image on, so first of all I've put this large piece of lace, and then I've put my image on, and I do with a lot of pictures, I do actually back them generally with felt, but this one's actually backed with a bit of wadding, so it just gives it a bit of a 3D type look. So, I've got a pretty little bow here that I've put, and I put like a bling piece, and then under here is like a peacock look, and it's got like a key that dangles as well, and there's another little charm here as well. So around here I've just edged it, at the top I've just edged it with, I don't know what it's coming up on the screen, but it is actually like a grey blue. So I kind of stuck to the blue, grey, those kind of tones. I've put a little, I think these are called cabbage roses. They're pre-made, I didn't make that one. And then there's a bling piece that's just got lots of dangles, because gypsies, of course, love their dangles. I've edged it around here with a sequins and organza trim. And on the side here underneath this bow, I've put a little bit, this is quite a common trim. I think you'll find that you just put your lace, you put your ribbon through the eyelets. So I've put it a darker color because it's just to work in with the background. And yeah, so there's another little bling piece. This is actually like an old broken earring, so I really love that one. And she's got butterflies and flowers image, and there's blue on there, which is why I worked with blue. So I'll just show you the side part. Now the side part has, let me see, the side part has got, I'll move the charm. It's got a piece of lace, and then in between I've put like it's kind of like a beigey or a mushroom, I call it a mushroom pink ribbon through it. So on the side I've done a dangle, and on the dangle, let me see if you can see it properly, it's hard to show a dangle. On the dangle I have put, there we go, that's better. I have put various kind of gypsy type charms and coins and blings, and there's a plate with a skillet, because of course they quite often camp outdoors. There's a lantern, There's an axe, there's a peace heart, and lots of little coins and different things on that one. So it makes a nice little noise. I like the jingles. So I'll just turn the page and show you inside. Now the second page is your purples. Now a lot of, hang on, let me see if I can bend it so we can see it a bit better. There we go. Now a lot of these ones I actually have dyed myself. Down the bottom I've got some dangle trim and a scallop trim on the top. I actually hand painted those ones. That's got the green and the purple, and on this one the same, the green and the purple, and I brushed it with some, I've got some fabric dyes that are actually, I think they're called tea dyeing fabric dyes, and I just added a little bit of water. I spray it and so that they run a bit like watercolors. So underneath that there is a purple fringe trim. Over here we've got a purple, it's just like a purple brass piece. I guess it must have been an earring, I'm not sure. Around the image, now this girl, she's got kind of a purpley dress. Around the image I've just done some pre-made flowers and just added a couple of little blings in the center. This is another embroidery trim. Let me see if I can show you a bit closer. And it's got beautiful purples and mauves, and it's a netting type one that goes all the way up, and it's embroidered like under here. You could probably see it's embroidered kind of more than 3/4 of the way up. Sorry, my hand's in the road. And over here I've done another broken earring that it has so much detail in that. There's the iridescent blings, there's some purpley stones in the middle, there's all these beads and beading, and then there's another one that hangs down the bottom. So it's really, really pretty. I've edged it with a variegated purple, pinks, and green trim, and then I've put this sequins trim on the top, and a purple and white trim, and then there's a purple and white with, it's got kind of black and gold through it. So I really like that page. And around here it looks a little bit like tinsel trim in a way, but it's got the silver thread and then the purple that goes through it. So I really like that. It's just really, really pretty. Now this page was a huge challenge, this orange page. Orange would be probably my least favorite color, and I don't know what got me to do it. Maybe because in here she had some yellows and there is a bit of orange kind of in a hat and down here. So I thought, okay, we'll go with the reds and orange. Her hat's kind of reddy. There's the yellow here. So I found some trim. Now, I don't know if you can see it through the lace, but through this lace, this is actually like cream lace, there is a great big piece that I cut off a tablecloth, which is a crochet tablecloth, and I dyed it orange. I was game enough to do that, and I really was actually quite happy with how this page turned out, the oranges and reds. So over around this I've put a really nice gold trim, and the reason why I did the gold was because this piece here has some light kind of like peach, and then the orange, and then it has golding all the way through it. So that really complemented that, as well as this red trim here. It has gold right through it. Underneath that I had some dyed lace. There's a variegated red trim. You can't quite, hang on, under here. And like I said, I put just to tone down the actual orange because it was really quite bright, I put that lace over the top. It's got an orange trim down the bottom, and then here's some of it that shows. This is actually the bottom of the crocheted lace, and then I've put a gold ribbon that has some gold beading down the bottom. Down the bottom of this one, underneath the crocheted lace, I've got some orange fringe trim. Around here I've put a peach, it's kind of like peachy orange trim all the way around. It goes all the way around the top. And just a little bling piece here that has like, it's a heart and it has a red rose. And then I made a flower just out of crocheted bits and pieces of doilies and so on. I just rolled them up and I layered it. I started off with the reds. Down the bottom there's, let me see, there's kind of light red, and then it goes darker as we go up, and then cream, and then I just a bling piece in the middle. So, and this, I really like this one. It was funny enough, I really found it difficult with the orange, thinking outside the box, but I actually really enjoyed when I finished. Now, this is my favorite page, the blue. And I am a pink girl, but the blue I really, really love. I really love her. She's got a bird sitting on her shoulder, and she's got like the peacock type colors, the blues. So I edged this with a trim that has beading. It has the really fine seed beads all the way through it. I'll just bring it up a bit closer so you can see. And then it has the turquoise stones as well sewn into that trim. So it's really, really pretty. I had a necklace that I had purchased off eBay, and so I put that down and just kind of gave it a nice little dangly effect. And it's got like a moon and a star on it, and then on the back it says, let's turn it over, I love you to the moon and back. So I thought that was really cute. So this one is actually, the backing of this one is crushed velvet, so it's really nice light blue. I've edged that on the edge with a, I'll bring that up closer, with a really nice blue, it's white and it's got blue lace through it. Sorry, it's white lace, sorry, and it's got blue ribbon through it. Let me say that properly. Then I dyed these edgings, this was a white crochet trim, and I dyed that blue. I put the navy through it just to pick it up and make it stand out a little bit. It's got kind of a baby blue pom-pom trim. It's edged with a really long blue bit of lace at the top, and then a smaller short blue lace. In the corner I've just put another one of those cabbage roses. Down the bottom I've put, I just made some bows and put some bows down there. And then underneath this blue one here that I've dyed, I dyed this trim, and this one was, it was white, and I dyed it with the greens at the top and kind of made the darker bits. Let me see if you can see it. The darker bits in the middle, and then I variegated it with the blue, kind of lighter and then darker on the edges. So underneath this one, I think there's a blue, yes, there is a blue fringe trim. I'll just there. So not too many layers, but just enough. Then I've got some jewelry pieces that are all just blue. There's some bling. These are really, really bright bling. I think they're actually buttons or beads. Yeah, they go right through. And then just a jewelry piece there. So on this page, there is my favorite color, but like I said, the blue one I really liked. So here is, now let me see if I can remember what they're called. The Gypsy Wagon, and it starts with V, and I can't think what it's called, but here we go. And so that had like the pinks and the burgundies. So this piece, I started off with a piece of satin, and I put that down, and then I put the image down. Sorry, no, before I put the image down, I put a doily, which I had also dyed. That's got, I'll just lift it up so you can see it a bit better. That's got like the pinks in it. And then because there was the dark black and some dark pieces, I thought, well, I'll do black. So I put black around the edge, just a plain black, one of those nylon laces. I hand did these flowers. There's 3. There's one in the corner and then these 2. And that was a tutorial that Soyna Stepto from Australia, she did a tutorial on how to make the sequins flowers. So let me see if it will probably, there we go. So I really enjoyed doing those. And then I've put a jewelry piece which has the black and white beads, and I just added a couple of extra beads on it. And then at the top, over the top of the doily, I've put a really nice trim that has a pink thread going through, and kind of like a probably a charcoal color. And then in between it has these flowers that are sewn on, and then some pink beads all the way through. And then I've put a bit of gold at the top, and I've edged it with a black lace that actually has gold thread. I'm not sure it's showing up, but it actually has gold thread through it. And then on the top here, now I did these before I had my bow maker, so it's a little bit easier now. So I did just a whole lot of pink, kind of like baby pink seam binding, and then a kind of pinky salmon lace, and just did like a little rosette, and then it's just got a couple of little dangles. Down the side I've also done, again, I followed it through from the top, exactly the same as the top. And then right down the bottom we have a beautiful beading, and that has the pinks and then the big tiny little seed beads, and they're pink, and then the little seed beads are white, and then right down the bottom there is teeny tiny, let me see if you can see, teeny tiny, really tiny little beads. So yeah. Underneath that I have also dyed another lace that was white, and so that's a really nice dangle. I actually dyed that really it turned out really lovely, quite a light baby pink. And then underneath that is a really long pink fringe trim that I didn't dye. It was like that, it was that color, I think, from memory. So we'll turn to the next page. Okay, on the next page here we have I'd call it golds and deep plum kind of colors. So I started off with this gold piece of satin. I then put the image over the top. She's kind of got like a burgundy type, plummy type hat. Looks a little bit red on the camera, but it's actually quite plum. Then I then put some trim that was dyed that I actually got online from an Etsy store. I got a package, and I used all these laces here were already pre-dyed by the lady from the Etsy store. Now I can't remember her name. I will see if I can remember and link it below. And so a couple of these, I think I might have dyed that one. So I've put a little kind of plum, looks kind of deep plum or purple on the camera, but it is actually quite plum, a jewelry piece. I've put a piece of earring that I've just hooked in to this flower, and that just has a lot of whole heap of dangle love hearts on it. So all these trims, there's a beautiful one down the side here that's just like roses. I've then underneath that put a cotton trim that looks more of the golds. Let's see if I can show you a bit better if I lift up these leaves. There we go. And then at the top it's got another gold lace, and then down here it's got the variegation of the plums and the golds. Along the side here I've just done the same. I've just edged it around like I've done with the other images, and then there's 2 little flowers here that I've got the stamens. They kind of give you a 3D effect. It's got the little pearls in it Down the bottom here, I think this one here is tea stained. I think I tea stained that. And underneath that is another piece of that came with that kit, and it is a variegated one as well. So that's that one. And then we have the green page. And she's very sweet, young looking little girl. She's kind of got green on her hat, so I kind of picked up that. The bottom part of this is again the crushed velvet, so it's a kind of like a minty green. Down the side I've just done a bit of trim that has the green and the gold down the side here. I then edged it with quite a dark, almost like a Christmassy colour sequence. And then on the top of that, I've done like the other purple page, I've done the sequence trim. Over the top of that, just to give it a bit of interest, I've put another trim that has the greens, and then it kind of goes into your pinks. So on the top of that, I've done a gathered lace, which is it's showing up white, but it's actually very green, and it's iridescent green. Let's see if I can, no, it's not showing up at all. And then along here, there is a piece that has some embroidered ribbon, and it's greens and pinks. It goes to your creams, and I've put that all the way, it goes all the way around to the edge. Then I put a doily in half and made it look like a fan. That's one that I did dye myself. And I've put a green, this is actually, it's green and silver. This little flower. And then underneath that I've done a dyeing here of pinks and greens with this lace. I've done it very light, not too dark. And then under here I've got another piece that has the flowers, and it has pink flowers and then the green. And under that is the long fringe trim. And then we have the last page. And the last page has another gypsy caravan. First of all, I started off with, it's very hard to see, but there is a cotton embroidered or broderie anglaise or eyelet trim, whatever you call it. It's got the holes in it and the stitching. So I put that back to that, and then put my image on. Excuse me. This has been sitting, it's not very good. It's very flat. This has been sitting with something on top of it. And so the ribbon has got quite flat, but that's got green, the mint green and the pinks all the way down. Underneath that I've put a cream trim. I just left that as is. Oh yeah, and then under that I do have a dangle. You probably can't see the top part of it. It's very quite pretty, but it's got the nice long dangles. And so around the image I've done a glittered pink trim, and there's a little pre-made flower that has like sequins in the middle. And then on this on top of the eyelet lace I have put this beautiful lace this beautiful lace that has the holes in it. So I've put a pink trim. And then under that one, there's a double, which is a really wide one. And it goes like all the way. It's a double lace. They're very similar. These ones are very, well, exactly the same, except they're all different sizes. They come from Luscious Laces. And up the top here, so that's all the way around. And then up the top here, I've done some of those pre-made flowers again. And a little, I've just done a cluster. And then under that is another like another flower, that's a crocheted one. And then off that I've done some dangles that have it's got little pearls and then bigger pearls, and then some teardrop, it's kind of like plummy pink, and then some pink, I don't know if you can see that, but there's some pink little glass dangles as well. And then off that I've done some pink and the mint beading. And then right here in the corner I've just done some pink and white feathers. And that is it. That is my book. So I hope you really like it. It was a very different, I did it like over a year ago, so it was very different. Like I said, it was a bit of a challenge. I really enjoyed it. I'm happy with it. I do like it. I have it normally sitting and displayed on my bookcase where I've got some of my works, but at the moment I'm trying to get into a craft room, which hopefully this weekend I might be able to start. So I've got things everywhere. I have overtaken the dining room, I have overtaken the bedroom, I have overtaken so many places with my craft stuff. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, so thank you very much for watching. Please, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe, and leave a comment if you want to know anything. I'm happy to answer questions. And thank you very much for watching. I hope you're having a lovely day or evening or morning wherever you are in the world. And I will talk to you all later. Thank you. Bye for now.